hope you're all having a great start to your week. If you're not, I hope that this story brings you some comfort and peace. I had a request from a listener last week that I create a rainy day story. So there's some rain in the background of this reading, and I hope it's relaxing for you. If you have any ideas of new stories or sounds you would like to hear, then just let me know, and I'm happy to accommodate the best I can. All right. Well, if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. And I do new stories every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock is when they're posted. Please don't forget to like this story and place a comment below and let me know where you're listening from. Okay, friends, enjoy. I'll chat with you soon. Before we begin our story, let's take a few minutes to quiet the mind and settle into a space of deep relaxation. This is your time, a sacred moment to let go of the day and fully embrace stillness. Let's start by finding a comfortable position. Whether you're sitting or lying down, allow your body to fully rest. Close your eyes gently, letting the outside world fade away. Take a deep breath in through your nose, letting your chest and your belly rise fully, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale deeply, filling your lungs completely, and exhale, releasing any tension. One more time. Inhale deeply and exhale fully, feeling your body soften. Now, allow your breath to fall into its natural rhythm. Feel the cool air as you breathe in and the warm air as you breathe out. With each exhale, imagine tension leaving your body, melting away like morning mist under the sun. Notice how your shoulders drop, your jaw softens, and your hands rest easily at your side. Bring your attention to your feet. Imagine them growing heavier, sinking gently into the surface beneath you. Feel the weight travel up through your legs, grounding you, steady and secure. Now, let this sensation of heaviness rise into your hips and your back and your chest. Your whole body feels supported, cradled by the earth, as if you're floating on a calm, quiet sea. Shift your focus now to your senses. What can you hear? Perhaps the faint hum of the room or the soft rhythm of your own breathing. Let these sounds guide you deeper into relaxation. Now, imagine a soft, warm light surrounding you. It's a light of peace, of safety, of calm. Let it gently wash over you, soothing every muscle and every thought. As your mind begins to quiet, picture yourself on a peaceful journey. You're walking along a gentle path that winds through a serene hillside. The air is cool but comforting, carrying the faint scent of fresh earth and rain. You can hear the soft patter of the raindrops on leaves and the distant call of birds. Each step you take feels easy and light, as if the earth itself is welcoming you forward. Ahead, you see a small, glowing tea house perched on the hill, its warm light spilling out into the soft mist around it. The path leads you closer, and with each step, you feel a growing sense of peace, a sense that you are exactly where you need to be. When you're ready, let's begin our story. Let this moment be your doorway to a journey of rest and wonder. The rain had been falling steadily all afternoon, the kind of soft, persistent drizzle that seems to soak straight through to the soul. A wandering traveler cloaked in a worn forest green coat trudged up the winding dirt path that led toward the top of a gentle hill. The edges of their boots were caked with mud, the soles nearly worn through from weeks of walking. Their face framed by a mop of dark, damp hair carried the weariness of someone who had seen many miles and many towns, but was still searching for something unknown. Slung over their shoulder was a simple leather satchel, its clasp slightly tarnished, but holding fast against the elements. Their journey that day had started with the promise of sunshine, the kind that warmed the shoulders and made even the heaviest of bags feel lighter. But as clouds gathered and the first drops began to fall, they had pressed on, hoping the rain would pass quickly. It didn't. The path was lined with towering trees whose leaves whispered under the weight of raindrops. And though the traveler was no stranger to solitude, the persistent sound of the rain and the growing chill had begun to gnaw at their resolve. As they crested a small rise, the traveler spotted it. A small tea house perched at the top of the hill, its sloping roof and stone chimney visible through the mist. A warm light glowed softly from its windows, promising shelter and perhaps something more. A sign, hand-painted with elegant brushstrokes, hung above the door, swaying gently in the breeze. It read, "The Little Tea House on the Hill." The traveler quickened their pace, boots squelching against the wet earth. Reaching the wooden steps of the tea house, they paused to take in its details. The building seemed almost alive, its weathered wooden beams and moss-covered stones blending seamlessly with the surrounding landscape. The scent of damp earth mingled with something faintly floral and sweet, a whisper of what awaited inside. Pushing open the heavy oak door, the traveler was immediately enveloped in warmth. A fire crackled in a stone hearth, its glow dancing across the room. Shelves lined the walls, brimming with jars of dried herbs, tins of tea leaves, and delicate porcelain cups. A single table, covered with a lace cloth, sat in the center of the room, surrounded by mismatched chairs. The air was thick with the aroma of steeping tea, honey, and something indescribably magical, a scent that seemed to soothe every worry and ache the traveler carried. "Welcome, dear," came a soft voice from behind the counter. An elderly woman, small and spry, stepped forward, her silver hair tied back with a ribbon. Her eyes sparkled with kindness, and her hands, though wrinkled, moved with precision of someone who had spent decades brewing the perfect cup of tea. Beside her, an elderly man with a thick white beard and a sturdy frame was tending to the assortment of teapots on a nearby shelf. He glanced up and gave a nod of acknowledgement. "Caught in the rain, have you?" the woman asked, her voice like a comforting melody. The traveler nodded, their shoulders relaxing for the first time in hours. "Yes, I wasn't expecting it to last this long. Your tea house is a welcome sight." "Well, come sit by the fire," the man said, his voice deep but gentle. "We'll have something warm for you in no time." The traveler hesitated for only a moment before settling into one of the chairs near the hearth. The fire's heat steeped through their damp clothes, chasing away the chill. The woman bustled about, selecting a teapot and a blend of tea with care. "We have many teas here, you know," she said as she worked. "But for someone like you, I think this one will do." She held up a small tin adorned with a hand-painted image of a sunrise. "This is our morning light blend. It's for travelers who need a moment of peace. It has a touch of magic, just enough to bring a memory to life." "Magic?" the traveler asked, intrigued but not skeptical. There was something about this place that made the idea seem entirely plausible. The man chuckled as he joined his wife. "Oh yes, not the flashy sort, mind you, just enough to remind you of something beautiful you might have forgotten." As the tea steeped, the woman brought over a tray with the teapot, a delicate porcelain cup, and a small dish of honey. "Here you are, dear. take your time. The rain isn't going anywhere, and neither are we. The traveler poured the tea, its golden liquid releasing a fragrant steam that filled their senses. The first sip was like sunlight breaking through the clouds, a warmth that spread through their chest and settled into their very soul. And then, faintly, a memory stirred. A moment they hadn't thought of in years. The rain outside faded into the background as the tea worked its quiet magic. The elderly couple exchanged a knowing glance, their smiles gentle and understanding. The little tea house on the hill had done what it always did, offered a weary soul a moment of solace in the storm. As the traveler set the porcelain cup back onto its saucer, their eyes closed, and the memory unfolded like an opening scene of a cherished film. They found themselves standing on the soft, sandy shores of a lake, the water glistening under a sun-dappled sky. The air was filled with a lively chorus of laughter, distant birds, and the rhythmic lapping of gentle waves. A feeling of pure contentment enveloped them, as though a world had paused in its ceaseless turning to grant them this perfect day. They were younger, dressed in carefree summer clothes, the weight of years and worries absent from their frame. The breeze carried the scent of sun-warmed pine and fresh water, blending harmoniously with the aroma of sizzling food from a nearby grill. Friends and family bustled about, their faces glowing with the joy of shared moments. A long wooden table was set up under the shade of towering trees, adorned with bowls of fresh fruit, colorful salads, and a pitcher of iced lemonade. The traveler's younger self was seated on a plaid blanket, a favorite dog sprawled happily beside them, its tail wagging lazily in the sunshine. A close friend handed them a plate piled high with grilled vegetables and homemade bread, their laughter lighting up the moment as they recounted a humorous mishap from earlier in the day. The memory felt alive, vivid in every detail. The warmth of the food and the sound of conversation, the feel of the blanket beneath their hands. Nearby, a group of children played an impromptu game of tag, their gleeful shrieks echoing across the water. The traveler watched as one of them, a girl with wild curls, stopped to gather a bouquet of wildflowers. She ran over, presenting it proudly to the traveler's younger self, who accepted it with a heartfelt smile. The gesture was simple, but filled with a kindness that stayed with them long after that day. As the afternoon sun began to dip lower in the sky, painting the water in hues of gold and orange, everyone gathered around a crackling fire pit. Someone produced a guitar, and soon the air was filled with music. voices joining together in imperfect harmony. The traveler's younger self leaned back, gazing at the sky as the first stars began to appear, feeling a profound sense of belonging. The memory shifted slightly, the details softening like the edges of a watercolor painting. Now they were walking along the lake's edge, the cool water lapping at their bare feet. Their closest friend walked beside them, the two of them lost in a quiet conversation that needed no words. It was a moment of connection, of understanding, where everything felt simple and right. When the memory gently faded, the traveler opened their eyes to the warm glow of the tea house. The fire crackled softly in the hearth, and the rain continued its soothing rhythm against the windows. They placed the empty cup back on its saucer, their heart lighter, the warmth of the memory lingering like a cherished keepsake. The elderly woman approached with a soft smile, her eyes twinkling. "Did it bring you somewhere nice?" she asked. The traveler nodded, their voice quiet but content. "It reminded me of a day I never want to forget. Thank you." "That's the beauty of our teas," the man said from his place by the counter. "They help you carry the good things forward." The traveler smiled, a sense of peace they felt unlike anything they'd had known in years. The rain outside no longer felt like an obstacle, but a part of the gentle rhythm of life, much like the memory they would carry with them, thanks to the little tea house on the hill. The traveler lingered by the fire, savoring the warmth and the peace that seemed to saturate every corner of the tea house. Outside, the rain had softened to a light mist, and the hilltop was wrapped in a gauzy veil of silver. It was as though the world itself had exhaled, settling into a deep and tranquil stillness. The elderly couple moved about the tea house with quiet purpose, their every action imbued with a sense of care and harmony. The woman hummed softly as she arranged jars of tea leaves on a nearby shelf, each labeled with elegant calligraphy that spoke of their unique qualities. The man, meanwhile, polished the wood of the counter, pausing now and then to glance out the window, as if ensuring that the rain wouldn't trouble their guest much longer. The traveler, feeling an unusual sense of connection to this serene place, finally spoke. "How long have you been here, tending this tea house?" Their voice carried a note of curiosity, mingled with gratitude. The elderly woman chuckled softly. "Oh, it feels like forever, doesn't it?" She glanced at her husband, who gave a small nod. "We've been here many seasons, long enough to see countless travelers pass through these doors. Each one brings their own story, their own burdens and dreams." "And the teas," the traveler said, their gaze drifting to the shelves. "They're more than just a drink, aren't they?" The man smiled, his weathered hands resting on the counter. They are. Each blend is a little bit of magic, carefully crafted to remind people of what they carry within themselves. The good memories, the lessons, the joys, they're all there, just waiting to be uncovered. The traveler looked down at their empty cup, the memories still vivid in their mind. It's incredible. I didn't know how much I needed that moment until now. The woman approached with a small cloth bag tied with a ribbon. "This is for you," she said, handing it to the traveler. "A bit of the morning light blend to take with you. Wherever your journey leads, may it remind you of the beauty you've seen and the strength you hold." The traveler accepted the gift, their hearts swelling with gratitude. "Thank you. I'll treasure it." The rain had all but stopped now, the mist beginning to lift from the hilltop to reveal a patchwork of lush green fields and distant forests. The travelers stood, their damp cloak now dry and warm from the fire. They shouldered their satchel, the small bag of tea safely tucked inside. As they stepped outside, the air was fresh and cool, carrying the faintest scent of rain-soaked earth. The little tea house behind them seemed almost like a dream, its golden light glowing warmly through the windows. The elderly couple stood in the doorway, waving a gentle farewell. "Safe travels," the man called out, his voice steady and kind. "And remember," the woman added, "you're always welcome here, no matter where the road takes you." The traveler nodded, their heart lighter than it had been in years. As they descended the winding path, the world around them seemed transformed. The trees glistened with the raindrops, each one catching the light like a tiny jewel. Birds began to sing again, their melodies weaving through the gentle rustling of leaves. The traveler paused at the base of the hill, turning to look back at the tea house one last time. It stood there like a beacon of comfort and warmth, a place where weary souls could find not only shelter, but also a reminder of the magic that exists in the ordinary. With a deep breath, the traveler continued on their journey, the path ahead feeling less daunting and more full of possibility. The little bag of tea nestled in their satchel was a quiet promise that no matter where they went, they carried with them the strength of their memories, the kindness of strangers, and the hope of new beginnings. The rain clouds began to part, revealing a pale blue sky streaked with the soft hues of an early sunset. The traveler smiled, their steps steady and sure, as they moved forward into the unfolding story of their life.